Well, there's an update for you. We did one run last year, I guess it was this spring, and popped a hole in a piston. So that was it for the season. So take the motor out, and that's what's left of it. Because I only needed a piston, a couple of pistons and some valves, I decided I would just strip it completely down because that makes the most sense. And I tossed the chassis out into the trash. It was bent and twisted. I'd cut it up, it's full of holes, and I started building this. So I'm starting over. Still waiting on a motor. There'll be more to come on that. But in the meantime, while I was waiting for that, I started building a new chassis. It's all 2x3 box tubing, 4-link and wishbone in the back. Basically just cut everything off of the old chassis and grafted it into this new one. This new one is straight, not twisted and bent like the old one. I haven't weighed it yet. I'm assuming it's going to be less. Surprisingly, the factory chassis was a short box chassis, and I had cut a lot of it apart, and it was still weighing 460 pounds at the scrapyard. So hopefully this is lighter. I'm pretty sure it's going to be lighter. But I think it'll be okay. We're going to do a 4-link in the front. So this video is going to be about welding to cast steel, which is not ideal, but I think it's going to work. So this is what we got. This is the front Dan 44. This is a factory 44 with these cast wedges in there. You can't just cut them off because it's all cast in place. So your options are to retube the whole axle, which I wasn't going to do that because it's costly and takes a lot of time, and I'm not doing that myself. The other option was to find a whole nother axle and swap everything over. And they're not that easy to find, and I was running out of time, so we're welding to cast. I had a friend of mine cut these brackets out for me. I kind of just hand drew out a template, and that'll be the bracket for the 4-link on the axle. So this is actually my second attempt at welding to cast. I did this one yesterday, taking the advice of a friend of mine that is a really good fabricator. That was yesterday, and I think it looks okay. Should hold, hopefully. So he's telling me we got to get that cast up to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, weld it in, and then cool it off very slowly. So that's what I did yesterday. We'll try it again today. I just thought I would record this one and hopefully not mess it up for everyone else to see. So I'm just heating it up with just a normal Tiger torch. It actually didn't take very long to get it hot, so that worked really good. So let's try this again, see how it works. This is all I'm using for a temperature gun. Just shows everything in Fahrenheit. Works pretty good. I use it for everything else, checking the header pipes and using temperatures on the heads and stuff like that. Going to heat up one side. I'll weld the brackets, I guess this is the bottom side of the axle. And then I'll roll it over, do the same thing on the other side. So the top section here is already getting pretty warm. Now this side's still a bit cold. Some more heat down here. Okay, plenty hot. Let's do this. Check again. That's still up there. Still pretty good. You want it to lose heat too fast. That's the big thing, I guess. I'm just gonna throw a little heat on here. We'll have a quick look at the welds. Then I'm gonna roll it over. We'll do it again. See how we did. It'll be okay. We'll see. Get it cooled down over time. Keep it from cracking, but looks all right. Try it again. Okay, I gotta roll this stupid thing over again. It's not super late. It's kind of awkward, but that worked. We'll get onto the top side. See what's at temperature here. So it is fairly warm. It won't take much to get it all the way up. Okay, now is the most critical part. So I've been told is just to cool it down over time. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to take it down about, I don't know, 25 degrees every 10 minutes or so. Probably doesn't need to be that long, but I don't know what the real correct answer is to that. So, but I would assume slower is better. So we will do that now. Still pretty hot. It's coming down. It gets really hot right at the tip of the wedge there, so I'm trying to keep some heat up here. It's been, I don't know, 10 minutes or so now. It's coming down a little quicker on the top of this axle than it is on the bottom, or I guess at the tip there, but it's getting hot in the shop here, I'll tell you that much. I'm finding it a little tough to keep the temperature the same all the way across, but it is what it is, I guess. Right up here it gets hot real quick and it just kind of holds it, but then down there it drops temperature a little quicker. Down to about 250 or so at the lowest point. So 230, 300 there, so I'm trying to keep it as even as I can, but proving to be a little bit more difficult. But now that I've done this, if I was to redo this, I would just weld one plate on and then weld inside there on one, at least one side. I can't get the welder inside there, but if I'd have done one side, welded inside and out, I think that would have been a better idea. Hindsight. I'm down to about 150 degrees. I think I'm just gonna let it cool off from there on its own. 150 is not very hot anymore, so let it do its thing. I'll come back tomorrow on it and check it for cracks, but it should be all right. This is the side I did yesterday. I think there's no cracks or anything, so I think it's gonna be all right. It looks pretty solid. Yeah, other than that, I really do wish I would have done one plate at a time, because I could have laid a bead, at least on one plate on the inside there. That would have been pretty good. Oh well. Next time. Okay, what's happening with the motor? This obviously is not the engine block I'm using. This is just one I'm borrowing for mock-up. But the last engine was a 598 cubic inch big block Ford tunnel ram, alcohol, and it made 1100 horse on the dyno. So I was 9 seasons on that engine. Then the piston popped. So everyone keeps asking me what I'm doing. Am I just rebuilding it? Are we doing something different? It will be different. That's another reason why I decided I needed a little better chassis. The last engine was naturally aspirated. The new one will not be. Will not be naturally aspirated. Now what am I doing? Am I doing nitrous, turbos, procharger, blower? You'll just have to come back and see for yourself once it's here. I'll do a big video once it shows up, and then everybody can see. But yeah, exciting things. Hopefully everything comes together. Hopefully this chassis holds up. This is my first time. I went off of no instruction, some pictures from some friends, and I just basically mapped it out from what the factory chassis was, where everything was sitting. Moved a couple things around that I didn't like, and yeah, we'll see if it works. Hopefully it holds up. So far, the only thing I can see, I think I kind of wish I would have dropped this all down a little bit more. but it will allow me to run a diagonal link on the front. The sway for the panhard bar is really annoying, so I think I'm going to be able to put in a diagonal link in there now, so that's a good thing. Other than that, everyone's wondering what this cab weighs. I'm going to weigh it yet because I'm curious too. It took 4 of us to lift it off to drag the frame out. What's your guess? What's it going to weigh out at? It's fiberglass doors, Lexan windows, gutted interior, and it's got a cage in it. I have no idea. I know it's heavy. The frame was 460 pounds, and I'd say the cab is probably pretty close to the same. So let me know what you think. Next update is either going to be more on the chassis, or maybe we'll be unboxing a new motor. We'll see. Check back again later.